Welcome viewers. I am Professor Ashish Agarwal from School of Engineering and Technology, and I am Program Coordinator for two programs, Postgraduate Certificate in Inventory Planning and Warehousing System and MBA Logistic and Supply Chain Management. In both programs, there is a course or you can say a topic which is related to both the program. Just in time, you can say, is a philosophy for the inventory management, which is also a part of your course MWR 002 Advanced Inventory Planning, and also in the MBA Logistic and Supply Chain Management as a inventory management technique. So today what we are going to discuss is about the just in time. There is a confusion between the just in time and the supply chain management. My students always ask me whether the supply chain management came first or just in time came first. I just want to say from the literature available that just in time came first, that is in 1970, and around 1990 the concept of supply chain management came. The just in time takes care of the inventory optimization, while the supply chain covers the whole supply chain, that is supplier, manufacturer, distributor or dealer, retailer and the customer. So in today's session, first we will see what is supply chain and what is the just in time. If we say that we need a optimal supply chain, what we mean by optimal? That's give you the items or the components or the product at the minimal cost by precise production process. Precise production process means that producing a product in a proper time and place with the minimal cost. In that there are several attempts. If you just go to the manufacturing strategies or the production and operation management strategies, there are many strategies they are there which controls or provide the precise production process. Just in time is one of them. The just in time was first adopted, or you can say coined by the Toyota manufacturing plant by a you can say researcher or industrial engineer, that is Ohno. In just-in-time production process or system, we always try to increase the efficiency or the outcome in production process as a optimized supply chain. So what we are going to learn today's session? We will try to understand the philosophy and the meaning of just in time. We will state the objectives and the prerequisite, because it is very easy to say just in time adopt kar lo, just in time apna lo, but it is very difficult. When we say just in time, it means there are some prerequisites that should be there before implementing the just in time. Third point which I will cover is the characteristics or the principles of the just-in-time. What are the principles one has to adopt while implementing the just-in-time or advising some manufacturing unit as a consultant? Then the fourth one is very important. As a student or as a practitioner, you should understand what are the benefits or what are the outcome of the just-in-time. Just-in-time, when we talk, it is nothing but in a simple word, it says that inventory is a waste. It does not say that every time inventory is a waste. In other words, if I say excess inventory or unwanted inventory is a waste. But in the production system, Toyota manufacturing system, production system, it always talk to see inventory as a waste. Then you can do something. You always see there should not be any inventory. If I am talking about my course or if I am writing some unit, all the things should be at proper time. I should not keep the buffer. If I need the white paper for writing, if I need 10 papers in a day, so I will keep the inventory of 10 papers only. I will not keep a rim or 500 pages for my 10 pages writing per day. So that is called the waste. If I am keeping 500 pages and I am using only 10 to 20 pages per day, then what is the use of keeping 500 pages extra? Let somebody else should use it, or I will purchase only 20 pages or 10 pages. So that will save my inventory, that will save my pocket. I will only need to spend the money required for 10 to 20 pages per day. So what is the definition of inventory? Basically, inventory is defined as elimination of waste of every type in a manufacturing unit. Or as I given you example of myself, if I am keeping the waste on my table, it is not just in time. So just in time always say that reduce the waste to the zero level. So what is just in time? It is a Japanese concept, and basically it says that right item of right quality and quantity at right place in right time. And basically the right time is the more specifically means something that it should reach at a right time. There are so many examples. We are living in national capital territory, New Delhi. Gurugram is very nearby. We have very good companies, two-wheeler, four-wheeler, and they have the ancillary or the supplier units. Earlier they used to keep the huge inventory. When their consultant find that the items can be or the components can be made available within 2 hours, then what is the fun and what is the use of keeping the inventory for 1 week or even for 1 month? So they remove the inventory, they minimize the inventory and try to keep the inventory of 2 hours, because the supplier is reliable, supplier is situated at 2 hours distance, so the inventory will be available within 2 hours. Now we will come to what is the objective or what are the different objectives of just-in-time. The first and the most important rule or you can say objective, is to minimize the all the associated cost. If I am producing a car, I will not hold the inventory of seat cover and the tires at my workshop or the factory. The seat will be available at the time of assembly. Why I should keep the seat when I am starting the manufacturing the car? Or the tires. Why I should keep the tires from the beginning? They will come at the time of assembly. So that will minimize your associated cost. Second important objective is to integrate the suppliers with the manufacturer. It is very essential to synchronize the operation and minimize the unproductive operation and resources. We will explain again and again in my next session, but here in a short lecture I will say that try to minimize the unproductive operation. And third objective is to improve the continuous flow of inventory as well as your operation. Cost of production is to be reduced, and the basic focus is to satisfy the customer. One has to increase the degree of efficiency of production process, and the most important is to reduce the waste, whether it is in the form of a material, time, effort that is involved in the production process. Now, what are the prerequisites? As I told, that you have to understand first what is the just-in-time, and as a consultant or as a practitioner or as a student, you should understand that if a company is going to adopt or changing its environment from the conventional to just-in-time, that particular factory must have these prerequisites, just like reliable vendors, minimal settle cost, multi-skilled workmen, elimination of bottlenecks, teamwork, commitment, and the flexibility. Let us take one by one. First is your reliable vendor. We have seen during the COVID time, not only Indian companies, but outside companies suffered a lot. Indian companies' suffering was lesser in amount because we have the reliable vendors at the local level, and the vendors worked with the manufacturer day and night. So Indian companies not suffered a big losses, but in case of your global or multinational companies, their vendors at Vietnam or Taiwan, they refused to work. They refused. They were not the reliable, you can say, the vendors. So our first prerequisite is that you should have the reliable vendor, your strategic vendor. Many companies believe or they allow the vendors to access their inventory. There are so many stories when the vendor is able to access the inventory of the manufacturer, so that the responsibility or accountability lies with the vendor only. If the inventory is getting lesser or shortened, he will be or she will be the responsible. So that is the beauty of the just in time, and we have such a reliable vendor that we will give the access to our inventory data. Second important prerequisite is the minimal setup time. If you visit any manufacturing unit, even in case of your any studio, it cannot start immediately. The cameraman needs thus to prepare the setup. So in case of any manufacturing unit, we have several types of machines, and a worker before starting the operation need to set up the machine. Set up the machine in sense of putting the work or the job, putting the tool, arranging all the tools nearby, and there are some jigs and fixture they are required at the particular machines. I have seen and I have experienced this, that sometimes the foreman used to take 2 to 3 hours for the final setup. So that time can be reduced by having the proper tools and equipment and the skill. Third important prerequisite is multi-skilled worker or workman. You will appreciate that instead of one worker for one machine, we should train the worker so that he or she can work either in one machine, or in case some requirement is, there is any requirement, he or she can also be able to work in the second machine. In work study, we always use two hands so that the workman can work all together on two machines. Another important prerequisite is the elimination of bottleneck. I will explain you the bottleneck with this figure, or in case with the example that A, B, C, there are 3 workstations. A takes 2 minutes, B takes 5 minutes, and C takes 4 hours. You will appreciate that product will not come from the D station unless the C, A and B and C all together reaches to D station. So we have to minimize, we have to see that how we can minimize the time or the processing time at station C so that the bottleneck can be minimized. Another prerequisite is a teamwork. Teamwork means we have to give respect, we have to work in a team. If individual worker is doing, we have to bring them in a team. There are so many examples that in case of a Tata Motors, so many problems are coming, but they work in a team. They organize the brainstorming session from the with the help of a team, or the whole team has a brainstorming session, and nobody will object anyone. If he is speaking or she is speaking, he or she will be allowed, because that is the teamwork. If somebody is giving suggestion, that should be taken well into account. Commitment is another important prerequisite, that everybody should be committed to the overall goal of the company or overall of the team. That is called the commitment. Flexibility is another important prerequisite. Flexibility means that in case of assembly line, we have a U-shaped assembly line so that worker can work on a 2 machines or 2 assembly sessions workstation at the same time. So that is the flexibility. And flexibility is also allowed in terms of equipment, in terms of a pupil. Pupil, as I told you, multi-skill worker, as well as volume of production, product mix, or decision, that should be flexible enough. There are 4 items. First is your production system, inventory, service and information system. That makes your just-in-time environment, and that I will cover in my next session on just-in-time. These are the 6 principles: elimination of waste, continuous improvement, respect for people, pull system, quality at source, and flow and synchronization. Let me take a journey towards all the principle. Elimination of waste means any type of waste. If it is not useful, it is waste. Overproduction, waiting time, transportation, overprocessing, excess inventory, these are all the terms as the waste. We need another principle, that is the continuous improvement. Improvement cannot be done at once or immediately. So we need a gradual change. We have to involve the employee. Elimination of waste. Waste is also called in Japanese muda. So all the times, if you standardize the things, if you plan properly, you can reduce the waste. Standardization is important also. Standardization of process, standardization of activity, and the problem solving mindset. You have many problems, but you encourage your worker to have the problem solving mindset. Third principle is respect for the pupil. If you involve pupil, give the time to pupil to speak. If he is a small worker, let them speak. He may or she may be useful for your problem solving technique. You have to develop the skill in the pupil. And another important thing, mutual trust and the respect. Another important principle is the pull system. There are 2 types of system, push system and pull system. Push system work on the anticipation of demand, while the pull system works on the demand. Here is another important that we will discuss also in a Kanban, how the Kanban system is working. Main thing is that it is a demand driven. Here we need the close supplier integration. Quality at source. The most important thing, when you are seeing any problem, you should stop the machine immediately, and that we call the poke yake. Zero defect philosophy and the continuous improvement. Another important principle is the flow and the synchronization. If you are production and the demand are synchronized, all the operation will also be synchronized. Now we will come to the benefits. What benefit we will get if we implement just in time. The first important is the improved flow of goods. Second is waste reduction. And the most important thing, you will get rid of the obsolete inventory. Another important advantage is the useful or the optimum use of your working capital. You will get the competitive advantage over your competitor. Since you have given emphasis on the supplier, your supplier will not cheat you. He or she will be involved in your all activity. You need not to have any storage facility. And inventory turnover ratio will raise. Obsolescence will be minimal. Your raw material on hand will be minimal. Local sourcing will be encouraged, and the production schedule will be synchronized with your production demand. You must have seen the McDonald's. You must have visited. They will start preparing the food when they get the order. That is the biggest example of the just in time. So what we have learned today? We have learned what is the meaning of just-in-time, what is the philosophy of just-in-time, then what is the objective of the just-in-time inventory, and what are the prerequisites for the just-in-time. We have also gone through principle of just-in-time, and at the end we have also identified what are the outcome or the benefits from the just-in-time. I have given or taken one case study that is from McDonald's, but we will take another case study of Apple computer or the mobile, where you will find even the Dell computer, they work on the just-in-time. That means that all the items which are required, as I have given you example, that seat covers or the seat at the four-wheeler automotive company will come at the time of assembly, not at the beginning. So that is the example of the just-in-time. I trust that this session will be helpful you in understanding the just-in-time concept, as well as in your advanced study, which I will take in the next few sessions, where we will discuss about the Kanban system, we will discuss about the pull system, we will also discuss about that how the Poke works. So thank you very much.